You'll go insane if you keep going like this. One more day, and you'll be in the loony bin. I just know you will. And for what, brother man?
For the working class. For the money, baby. For the greater good. For Revacol. Always and only Revacol.
Solving your little crossword puzzles. Doing your tasks. Crossing names off lists. Trying to become some sort of world detector. It won't make it okay. It won't put smoke back in her mouth. There he goes again. He's a real political animal, our Harry. He still doesn't see that it's the world changing around him.
He's got no idea what he's in for.
Beep, beep, beep. The alarm is ringing, Harry. The disco circus goes on and on. You barely slept 3 hours last night.
You can do it. It's nothing. Do it for the city. Go. Do it for the wind. Do it for the picture puzzle. Put it all together. Solve the world. One conversation at a time. Hey, Moneymouth. Eendrak, the impeccable hustler provider of the 7th generation. It's showtime with Savvy. What's up? I'm worried about what's down, broke boy. I'm talking about your severe lack of money. That's right. It's time to stop muttering about your economic self-interest and actually do something about it. Yeah, I heard you back there. What the hell was that? Superstar talk? Good one, hustler. Gotta keep the dream alive. But it's not really showing up in your net worth yet, is it? And it's what? Day 2, 3, 4? It's day 4, if we're counting days since the event. Listen, if you really want to make it in the big leagues, you need to reconceptualize your entire portfolio. Collecting tear and moaning about taxes is not going to cut it. You need to become a millionaire. Now, how do you become a millionaire? It should be the other way around. Old mitered money showing up at your doorstep, begging for a slice of cake. Those guys, they're all financially illiterate. Only Savvy here knows how to dazzle and embezzle money out of investors' pockets with the acrobatic prowess of a 4-time gold medalist in the Samaran Gymnastics Summer Games. The ancient Samaran tribes used carved rhodochrosite to represent their wealth. The bigger the boulder, the more money they had, in case you needed to know. Money is only one form of capital. Human relations are another. You're focusing on the wrong things. You could force a coin inside you. Any hole will do. Not many more definitive tests of a man's mettle than the fortune yawn. Of course you don't. You've never even been close to a sum with more than 3 zeros. Let's face it, you've been on a years-long losing streak. But Savvy's got your back. Savvy's going to book you a charter flight with 80 birds of prey on board, to a land where the streets are paved with Krugerrands and fixed income securities. You'll try again, but this time with money. You'll win her back. Are you in? The spirit of ultraliberalism, your charm, your spin, your winning hand. Attaboy, welcome to the final grind. Here we operate with money on a much higher level than the ordinary citizen. We feed it back into the machine. Stop saving, start spending. Become a patron. Let's start by getting you into the lucrative art market to diversify your assets and increase your ROI. Speaking of which, know any artists? Perfect. All you have to do is pretend to have taste. This will be your weapon when swindling artists for their overpriced work. Interesting. Are we speaking of visual art or something more conceptual? Somewhere in La Delta, numbers flip and whirl on the giant split flap boards of the stock exchange, marking gains the size of Kemi SR's entire economy. Radio computers hum below to the tune of gambling. Do you see any stock markets in Martinez? No. That's because for those living in the outskirts, the market is nothing. Just ghost numbers flicking through time. A spectral sport they're not invited to play. No, you need something real. Something you can hold on to with all your claws and teeth. Stop thinking of it that way. It's not a painting. It's a highly collectible and irreproducible asset. So, know any local artists with assets to sell? What is this? The turn of the century? The world's moved beyond paintings. You want something experimental. Intramuscular puppetry, hyperrealistic vapor porn, meditation opera. Don't listen to this fool. It's not about the artists, it's about the buyers. You can't hang vapor porn in the foyer of your chalet. Once we've brought in the millions, you can be a tree log for all I care. But first, we've got to work on increasing your net worth. Music is a pet project, not a viable business scheme. Let's return to it once you've set up your estate. He's also 12. We don't want to attract the attention of tax collectors by dabbling in unnecessary child labor. He does have potential, defying authority, thinking outside the box. That child's a common delinquent, not an artist. He probably can't even hold a paintbrush. You're right. She has the poise of a struggling artist. Very tangible. You can feel the poverty on her. Plus, she has paint. Go and support her like the state never could. Everyone must know that you're a big fucking shark around here. There, on that balcony, do you see it? The Artisto. Now, hold up. You can't go into a bullring without a prep talk. It's baby's first sales negotiation, after all. Savvy's got to give you the do's and don'ts. That's a pathetic-looking bull. Where are the sharpened horns ready to puncture your gristle? There's no real danger here. Rehearsal helps fine-tune a performance. Learn your lines so they can flow out of you, like Herk Zeitung's legendary soliloquy in Hoppla, jetzt komm ich. Artistos are known to repel wealth. It bounces off their skin like rubber. The moment a reasonable business proposal enters their periphery, they go and get political. Nonsense. No one repels wealth. The businessmen just don't know how to entice them. It's true, some of them are known to turn the entire thing into a happening. Oh no, not a happening. I don't like the sound of that. What you need to do is lure them in with a strong one-liner. Get them on your side before you've even finished the sentence. Show us what you've got. Pretend you're facing the Skull Girl. Mamma mia. If this isn't the top seller in La Delta, no one expected you to nail this on the first try. Congratulazioni. It's a decent start, but you might need to change strategies down the line. Okay then, off you go. Let's see what you've got.
Hello again, officers. Have you come to admire my mural? What's that? The piggy's looking to get into the art market with a snappy business pitch. Watch out, or you'll be auctioned off and face the chop.
The lieutenant straightens his back, waiting to see where this is going. The happening. It's happening. Are we witnessing a performance, perhaps? Play along. Relax. It's all part of her image. No one speaks to a police officer in that tone. Show the little missy here her place. She stares at you, fearlessly, waiting for a response.
Whoa! Calm it with that shit, cop. I don't have any art you can buy. Jeez. The whole point of graffitio being on the street is so everyone can see it. No charge. Expression for all.
There has to be a way to convince her. Everyone has a price. Forget this public art. She must have something private and esoteric. Something that tormented her until she brought it into existence. But how does she make a living? How does she keep a roof over her head? It must be hard. I bet it's all about the scene for her. Tell her you can introduce her to some artsy jet-setters in Saint-Baptiste. Maybe do some lines together in the powder room.
You call this a living? Look around you, Hogman. We're all bleeding out on the slab.
This place might be rotten, but at least it's hers.
So what, pig? You gonna mock me now? I don't need this.
Nearby, a horse bark barrels through an alleyway that sits between two monstrous squats. No one walks down there anymore, but the nostrils of those who pass by in wet weather still detect the sickly scent of gasoil and burnt hair.
Fuck out of here. This let's get through this together type of stuff doesn't work on me, especially if it's coming from a pig.
Perfect. She isn't interested. All the more reason to move on from this little side task.
Your partner here gets it. Anything else I can not do for you, gentlemen?
Sure, she's all draped up in ironic detachment, but everyone's gotta eat.
Great. The little foray into the art world continues.
His words are hiding a tinge of excitement. He's not so detached from your pursuits, after all.
Blah, blah. I'm not for sale, piggo.
Told you these artist types repel wealth. Turn it around. It's the seller who wields the power in this relationship.
Uh-oh, you're manipulating me. I do like a chance to rip off some stupid pigos. And I need a pack of cigarettes. And some paint. Okay, whatever, Piggy. Time to leech off each other like the parasites we are. Let me see what I've got.
Even the lieutenant leans closer to inspect the work.
Here. Happy?
Interesting. You can immediately see multiple ways to interpret this piece. What is the experience that the artist is trying to create? What bodies and spaces are they seeking to explore? It looks like a palette, nothing more than a board for mixing paint. Remember, this is a buyer's market. You're the one who's in charge of pricing. She juts out her hand, letting you examine the piece. 3 red splotches have been shot at a diagonal across the surface. Tinier spots of various colors fan out from the same point of origin.
Well, Piggo, what do you make of it?
There's tension in these strokes of genius, a desire to step into a dialogue with the viewer, to provoke them, a meditation on Sein und Nicht-Sein. As said before, it's a palette, nothing to see here. The angle of the paint drops reveals that they were fired at the canvas with the force of a hand cannon. It's one of those ink blot tests, an invitation to connect with the divine.
Yeah, whatever. Spaces, bodies. Shit, hit me with that lingo. Signature? Oh yeah, pigster. I sneezed while holding a wet brush. Paint flecked onto the canvas, and voila! You don't get more signature than that.
Is that all she thinks it takes to be an artist? Outperform her with her own style. Make it yours. You feel the biggest sneeze of your life itching its way to the center of your face.
Ugh! What are you doing?
The lieutenant furrows his brow at another one of your eccentricisms. You tilt your head back, close your eyes, and get ready to snap it all forward. The coat gets flung over her head as she braces for impact. The lieutenant is desperately searching for a handkerchief. The pre-sneeze hype is unreal. The mucus gripping the sides of your nostrils is cheering. All scents and odors seem to have left the world. Your nasal chambers have become wind tunnels of very ticklish particles. But the rest doesn't come. You exhale softly. No spittle, no shout. It's over. Just like that. Perhaps not everyone is an artist after all.
Was that it? Stop playing with your snout and let's get on with this so you can go back to your stinky sty. You still want this painting or what? 67,000 real and your head on a silver tray.
Remember, this isn't about the art or the artist. This needless purchase implies your excessive wealth. Art comes across as more tasteful than simply hanging cash on the wall. She may antagonize you, but she's still a struggling artist with no prospects. She needs as much money as you can give. Lowball her, the wretched are used to rolling with the punches.
That it? All right. It all helps.
Splendid. Your first physical asset. But no time to stop. Money grows old unless it keeps moving. You need to find a buyer, preferably someone who will pay a high price for such an exclusive piece from a local artist. Nah, she'd probably send the entire Wild Pines legal team after you if she knew you were trading goods around their harbor. She's ready and poised for a hostile takeover. And become a small-time art peddler? No, think bigger. Doing business with communist dictatorships only works if you've got long-term plans in place, which you don't. Good call. Sure, he said he doesn't carry much money on him, but he must have something else to trade. Let's hustle.
Look at us, coming to an agreement. Who'd have thought? Anything else you want? I'm in a good mood, but it won't last long.
Welcome back, gentlemen. What can I do for you? The art market? Intriguing. Well, as I said, I don't carry much money on my person. But do go on. What are you thinking? A painter? I'm always looking to expand into new asset classes. Who's the artist? Aha! And the name of the piece?
There's no sign of a reaction for a good 3 seconds. Then,
Wonderful things, aren't they? Names. They can completely change your reading of a person, or in this case, a painting. Before I invest, I need to know more about the work. How do I know this asset is going to appreciate with time?
this is the only question that matters. Fail to come up with an interesting hook, and he's out. Remember, you're not just selling a painting. You're selling a story. Give the man a reason to throw down that paper. Lying will get you nowhere. You can't outrun the truth. It will catch up to you one day. The comfortably wealthy want their views challenged when making a purchase. Don't hold back.
I see. I'll be honest. All I see are splatters that lack any true intention.
Why are you letting this opportunity slip away? Give him a story, an experience. Make him want to run away with this painting and marry it in secret.
Please, if there's something I'm missing, I'd love to know what it is. It lets you immerse yourself in a modern school of thought. Are you sure?
10 seconds. Borders dissipate. 20 seconds. Loss of self. 30 seconds. Everything dissimulates into raw unreality. That's just one of the many dangers of getting too deep into carpere. Complete nonsense, both carpere and what you just said. Can't bathe in thoughts.
Sounds like a hell of a trip. I really must experience it for myself.
Great work. That might have done it.
Well, I think that settles it. You found a buyer, my friend. A pleasure transacting with you. However, there are a few complications. I don't have the cash on me right now to pay for art of this caliber. What I can instead offer are shares in Mauer Koschlei Mercury Group.
Shares. That's even better. You can do a lot with them if you play your cards right.
I bought these shares many years ago for a steal. As predicted, Mauer Koschlei Mercury's operating profit has increased year on year, and there is no signs of it slowing down. People always need Mercury. Which means you could net yourself a considerable profit if you need some immediate liquidity. But if you don't mind waiting, I expect the value of these shares to double within the next 5 years.
Seems like a clever investment. Definitely worth thinking about if you care about your future. Yes, but chances are you can't use them to buy anything right now. No cigarettes, no alcohol, no funky little colorful pills.
They are the very unit of capital. You can buy them, sell them, even sit on them if you think it wise. Trust me when I say this. Becoming a shareholder means you are part of the big leagues. It's a Gotwaldian Ilmaran company that specializes in extracting mercury. It's seen massive growth lately due to the discovery of Ryotvark mercury. Have you heard about it? At the moment, it's trading at more than 1.5 times the price of gold. That's because it's an essential component in the next generation of radio computers. Rame's using it in their next model. I can't wait for mine to turn up. My predictions say its improved speed and azimuthal range should increase my trade efficiency by whopping 46%. You really should order one if you don't want to be left behind.
He's right. The combination of Ream's solid engineering and the new Rudfog mercury valves is huge. A step forward for technology, yes, but only for those who can afford it.
Splendid!
It looks almost ethereal. Is it even real?
This is a stock certificate. Well, a photocopy of one. Nevertheless, it's solid proof that you own shares in Mauer Koschlei Mercury Group.
The light around the individual in front of you changes somehow as you take the scroll. You can't figure out what's different. You just know that it is. There, the blinding light dimmed just long enough for you to see his true form. He looked like a regular middle-aged man. Something's rattling within you. It feels like the first penny dropped into a piggy bank. This transaction has changed the physical relationship between you. You are now more alike somehow. The Weiss-Wiesmann coefficient for you and this individual has now dropped to 0.9989, repeating.
That concludes our part of the transaction. Once you've turned over the asset, my people will get the legal ball rolling. Another deal complete. Welcome to the big leagues! If you haven't already, I'd advise you to consider hiring a personal brand strategist. What don't they do? They practically do everything, from spotting good investments and analyzing design trends to booking a lunchtime table at the prestigious Landrosy. Unfortunately not. I only know the ones who work with multi-millionaires and beyond. But take a look around, and I'm sure you'll find one. Personal brand strategists are attracted to money like sharks to blood. You'll find having net worth opens many new doors for you.
Personal brand strategist, huh? Not the kind of person you're likely to find around here. We'll have to ask anyone who seems like they might understand marketing, reputation management, someone who dreams big. She could, but she represents the Wild Pines, which is the top of that particular game. No way she's stepping down from there. We need someone lower down. That old communist, the only thing he'll strategize is a plan to redistribute your hard-earned money to losers and moochers. He's nothing more than a middle manager living a middle-class life. Your aspirations are much more ambitious than that. We'll stumble upon someone with the right amount of can-do attitude. I'll let you know when we do. Just keep your eyes open. Oh, and we should see what this net worth can do. Might score a discount, or better yet, get you some free goods. That's the kind of thing that really makes you feel like a hotshot. Ask the local merchants about it if you get the chance.
So, what's next on the agenda? It was a real pleasure. Sadly though, my current lifestyle prevents me from remaining more than a brief time in any one place. Perhaps we'll meet again, somewhere far away. Farewell, friend, and may your peace of mind guide you to happiness.
Hello, hello. Let me know if I can help you with anything. This is... I certainly wouldn't pass up the opportunity to acquire something that can make princes out of peons. Owning shares, that's where the proper trade is. Far beyond the pittance I deal with in here.
He seems down on himself. Offer a bit of positivity, and you might put him in a more benevolent mood.
Something like that, officer.
That didn't work. He must have sunk pretty low. The bric-a-brac man looks at you from behind 2 layers of polished glass. It is nearly impossible to read any emotion. He sways slightly and itches his cheek. If there is any struggle in him, he hides it well, just like he does the scarred walls of his shop, concealed behind stacks of dusty merchandise.
Nothing's wrong with it. The shop suits me fine, it's just... we all need a bit of luck in our lives, you know. A lottery win.
He's hiding something.
I'm in debt, officer. I've felt stuck for a long time. Those stocks, they could be my way out.
The pain is written in the creases of his face. Sheesh. This is a man who's been trying to catch falling knives for years.
Yes and no. It started when I had a bit of extra cash on me after acquiring the shop. Could do anything I wanted with it, so what does a young man do in that situation?
What doesn't he do?
I sure as hell didn't know. All I could think to do was pump it into the relief effort. I had to do something after I left the front lines. For them, but also for myself.
He was already scarred. Something just shuddered. up his spine. Mauled by a nightmare, bite marks in his bones.
For a little while, but I soon started searching for other ways to cope with the mental trauma. Being cooped up alone most of the day was exacerbating it. Just my own head to consult with. A friend of mine knew of a way to deal with that. That's when I started riding the pyro, as they say. It helped. A lot, actually. But it was another monthly outgoing. Still is.
And now, he needs it just to exist.
Yeah, but that's enough of my sob story. Let's get back to business. No can do. I need to make money. This is a business first and foremost, not a charity. No offense, but I don't think it would do me much good. Nothing to do with you. It's just my customers tend to be, well, they wouldn't know who you are.
He's right. His customers are desperates, lowlifes, and bored browsers. They don't understand high culture. They don't want their purchases to elevate them. They just want some old junk at a bargain price.
I'd be glad to trade for your shares. Let's stick to that. In theory, yes. You probably have enough to afford it all. However, I don't plan on selling up and joining the mastodons of La Delta just yet.
Shade's hair is certainly junked up enough to fit in with the big dicks, swinging wild and free across the river.
What I can do is trade that modified streetlight over there for some of your shares. It's the most expensive item in here. The finest in interior lighting.
Expensive isn't everything. Bet this light doesn't even have a recognizable brand. And you can't exactly strut down the street and turn heads with it, like you can a new Perseus black number. Sure it does. Not saying you should definitely not get it, but let's think about what to do with it first. Any ideas? Turn it into an art installation. Invite viewers to question what it means to bring an outside light inside. We have so many barriers to break down, and concepts to explore. For a price, of course. Imagine swinging it at a ball, the distance you'd get. That's the kind of feat that nets sportsmen a corporate sponsorship. There's much to be learned in this kind of rewiring job. You could steal its secrets and make a whole line of modified street tech to sell to the public. It's been through a whole transformation. There are so many insights to share. It just needs a medium. Wouldn't the Wakewalkers pay to hear the somniloquy of the spirit light? It's up to you. If you think it's got ROI potential, then go ahead. Just bear in mind that these shares are developing into a fortune without you having to do anything.
Nothing else in here carries that much value, I'm afraid. Plus, I need to make sure I still earn some actual cash for food and such. Take a closer look. You'll see the quality of the craftsmanship then. Any other questions in the meantime?
A typical Martinez streetlight sits among assorted floor and table lamps. Streetlights like this one were part of a renovation effort a few decades back. Sadly, the effort was abandoned before it was completed, and so these lights still illuminate crumbling streets. The light pole has been carefully cut, and the wiring has been redone and attached to a standard indoor plug. The light buzzes faintly, but persistently. This would make quite a statement in your living room.
Yes, officer. As you see, it's in perfect working order. It was brought to me to be altered.
We are not here to investigate the theft of city property. You have to admit it's rather clever what he's done with it.
700 real. A bargain, I dare say.
A bargain? No, it's not. He's trying to sweet-talk you into buying trash.
There's also the matter of rewiring, but the most important transformation is the light's placement among ordinary indoor fixtures, which has adjusted its morphological field. The light became suitable for use inside the home just a few days ago. More than happy. Like I said, I value the street light at 700 real. You decide how many of your shares that gets me.
As little as possible. We only sell shares if we're getting something of more value for them. Shares are premium goods. Think big business. He has an idea of what he wants, but he's not giving it away. Sign of a veteran dealer, able to withstand negotiations over minuscule amounts for days or even weeks. A 20th of your shares is a sensible offer, very divisible as far as numbers go. Some extra shares would go a long way to helping him out of debt. He deserves a break.
That's a reasonable offer.
This is all for show. He's already made his mind up. The pose, the power. Yes, drag this part out and reel in your audience, darling. See if they will crack under the suspense.
All right, you have a deal. The street light is all yours. Pleasure doing business with you. Yeah, good. But I won't be holding on to these shares for long. I've got to pay those debts off. Oh, sure. It is quite heavy. You're going to need a truck. That's all right. I can keep it here for you until you find one. Tell you what.
Did he just do a runner? He can't get away that easily. Try calling out to him. What if he's grabbing a gun? Don't panic. I'm sure he's just doing his shoelaces up. Something like that. The lieutenant catches your movements and meets your eyes with a look of confusion.
Here we go.
He's trying to cut you with its sharp edge. He's really not. Just take it off him.
Oh, nothing like that. Just this sign that declares you the owner of the streetlight. Stick it on and people will know that it's yours.
Great idea. One of your physical assets on display for the public. Maybe this was a good idea after all. We could sell tickets for people to come see it. Turn this into a little money churner. But let's come back to that idea later. There's easier money to be made elsewhere. Just get that sign stuck on there for now.
There you go. Beautiful job.
It reads, sold to the Disco Cop for shares in MK Mercury Group. The words are written with an even kerning, in bold, precise letters. Looks surprisingly official for a small-time trader. Some of your big biz flair must be rubbing off on him. The pole has been carefully cut, the wiring redone and attached to a standard indoor plug. The light buzzes faintly, but persistently. She's going to love it. Silence. Your eyes slide back to the 700 real modified streetlight you traded for shares. The golden light seems to flicker ever so slightly, like a butterfly. It casts shadows on the sign.
Oh, right. That's good.
Your eyes slide back to the 700 real modified streetlight you traded for shares. The golden light seems to flicker ever so slightly, like a butterfly. It casts shadows on the sign.
One quick question. How do I get hold of my shares? All right. Perfect. Thank you.
Oh. The system's been good to old Rosemary here, and I'm milking her like a bitch goat in the backyard. You see, friend, man makes his own luck, and I made mine real good. Got my hands on 3 bottles of liquor ex-squeeze, sold 2 to the fellows around here, and immediately invested the profit. Bought cigarettes, bought beer, even bought a bit of speed. And look at me now, I got everyone on my hook.
The hook. Where is it? I can't see it.
Hook 'em and cook 'em, huh? You want to buy something? Let's keep it moving. Sure, friend. You know it.
Don't mind old Rosemary here. He's a buffoon. Let's have a word after your high-concept transactions. I'll give you the lowdown.
In the civilized world, it's a custom to tip the shopkeep, friend. But come back anyway.
Hey, Tequila! Welcome to reality. How's it treating you? That's harsh. I'm like 3 or maybe 4 years into mine. Wait, no. Make it 5. Things aren't going super well for Idiot Doom Spiral either. Haven't found those keys yet, haven't won that great piece of ass back. No word from my business buddies.
This guy's your buddy. You feel it immediately. You belong to an organization, a fraternity of drunks. Idiot Doom Spiral, huh? This is bound to be a good, high-concept conversation. At last. Business buddies, huh? This guy might be just what we're looking for. Ask him if he knows any personal brand strategists who can help you out.
Things have really turned around for you, haven't they? You've got big money problems now. Don't be shy, Tequila. Of course I'll do it. I'm your man. Your personal brand strategist man. Now, I know I'm not your typical choice. I don't wear a suit, I'm not 100 years old, I'm not about to die tomorrow.
Not so sure about the last part, with all that drinking.
But I've got something the others don't. I'm on your level. And as I already understand your needs, I can marry my high-concept ideas with your brand easily. I'll help you make your mark.
Great can-do attitude, a billion real mindset, clinically insane energy. Hire him on the spot.
No, Tequila, no. I'm a professional, you see? I insist that you give me a formal interview. It wouldn't be fair on the other candidates if you didn't. What do you need to know?
He doesn't exactly come across as responsible. Are you sure you can trust him with your entire fortune? Grill him a bit. See how he performs under pressure.
I used to be a moderately high net worth individual myself, if I can say so. I've managed big money before, played the game, hustled the movers of the marketing world.
A subtle smile lights up his puffy face, like a ray of sun breaking through the stratosphere. He likes reminiscing.
At the Boom Boom Room, I directed a team of talent architects. People so high concept their names were nothing but a single letter. We had manic ideas, fueled by copious amounts of coffee-flavored whey powder. We did stuff no one had ever seen before, or since.
We're going to need examples here. Just going by one of your initials doesn't cut it. You're after measurable performance, not tales of happy memories. Numbers, please. How many years did he work? What profits did he earn?
Remember when Maria Capoleva caused an uproar by walking the red carpet in those slippers? The ones with the stick-on jiggly tits?
Yes, we do remember that.
That was me. I did that. We sold a lot of slippers that year.
All right, here we go. Miss Kapaleva, nay, Olga Rebnikova, was once known as East Revishal's premier vedette and sex symbol. Her role in director Dodo Shakan's sexploitation motion picture, Psychotronic Stripper, launched her into stardom. She's been voted most captivating woman by Lafayette 3 years running. 3 years, you hear that? 3 years. How hot did she have to be?
Drinking is the fuel to my fire. Moistens me up to ensure the high concepts have a smooth landing. Ah, shit.
He could definitely work more on his hand-eye coordination. You should hire him and ask him to stop drinking. Everyone deserves a second or third chance.
Okay. Let me get a sip first. You see, net worth means nothing to the people of Martinez. Nada. Null. For them to see your wealth, to really respect that, you need to convert it into something real, something tangible. The bigger the better. The Horseback Monument! That's the center of the district. They'd have to pay attention to that. We could get your name up there in lights. Damn thing's due for a reconceptualization anyway.
You're aware that monument is supposed to look like it's exploding. It doesn't need renovating.
I didn't say renovating. I said reconceptualization. It's medium concept shit is what it is.
The level of conceptualization could always be higher, yes. But what would it cost?
Nothing up front. That's because I always put the client first. My cut'll come out of the back end, after we've made you a sensation.
We really haven't got time for this. In case you've forgotten, we are supposed to be investigating a murder.
And forget about contractors and the like. This job I'm handling personally. Concept and execution. Any unexpected expenses we'll take care of later. Can't let price compromise the work. Easy. That's it. I'm back! Sorry about that, my friend. This isn't about me. This is about you. Of course. A chance for you to give back to the community, to get your brand out there, to teach them your name. I can already see it. Tequila sunset, spelled out in cathode rays, luminous against the evening sky. There won't be a single kid in this town who doesn't know who you are.
This is a good moment to bring up his drinking. He'll get nothing done if he continues like that.
Whoa there!
Yeah, whoa there. What is this? The fun police?
No need to worry about that. I've got it all under control. Besides, it helps with my creativity. Gets the business juices flowing, you know? I don't think I can do it. Sorry.
Some complex calculations are taking place in that intoxicated mind of his. Suddenly, you feel sad, looking at this man and his bottle. Somehow, he looks ancient. These thoughts having chased him for years.
No, you're right. I've got to do this. I need this. All right. You know what, Tequila, you old rat? I'll consider your request. Give me half an hour, my friend. In fact, I demand you to sit down here and not move until I'm back. Open a beer. Chat with your old pals.
The lieutenant massages his temples and looks down at the ground. There is little time for this.
Relax. I see you both running around like maniacs, just back and forth, back and forth. Gotta live a little. Enjoy the day.
He turns his swollen face against the wind, freezing rain battering his cheeks.
Exactly. Just give me a minute or two.
Before you know it, the man has put down the bottle, stood up, and left. Minutes pass. The clouds change shape up in the sky. You chat a bit with old Rosemary. Then, try to strike up a conversation with Don't Call Abigail about something other than Abigail. To no avail. It's all about Abigail. The lieutenant sits silent the entire time, preferring to focus on his notebook. Clearly, we have better things to do than sit down and chat with a bunch of drunks. After what feels like ages, you hear the fence creaking as if under a large weight. Look at him. Just look at him. It's Idiot Doomspyro. He's back, like a beast made of jaundice and fetid polypropylene. He returns locked in stiff combat with a most fearsome foe.
I know. Ran into some problems there. Material shortages and the like. But don't worry. Genius thrives under constraints. That's why you pay for the best.
He seems even more drunk than before. What an athlete. There should be a new word for drunk moves like that. Like alcoholite or gymnast. He can't even walk straight. How did he write your name in cathode rays?
Of course I am. When you're ready, and I don't think you ever will be, just head on over to the Horseback Monument. You'll see. World's gonna know about you, me, and the shiny numbers in our bank account.
The lieutenant closes his notebook and nods at you, ready to go.
But if there's anything else your old friend can do for you, let me know.
An old monument stands in the middle of the traffic island. It is surrounded by scaffolding that has been haphazardly erected around it. A matrix of metal tubes and wooden planks jut out at odd angles. A miserable tarpaulin covers up the horse and rider, flapping in the cold coastal air. There are no lights that spell out your name. No workers with calloused hands leering from above. Just construction materials displayed as if to mourn your misplaced dreams. There's not an ounce of artistry here. It's even worse than expected. That son of a bitch scammed you, probably to make fun of you. This is not what that personal brand strategist of yours promised. No one even knows that you're paying for this reconceptualization. Go and have a word with him. Find out what's going on. The old king looks defiantly to the west, wrapped in makeshift scaffolding like a mummy.
Tequila sunset.
No one does it better than me, eh? I was able to get it all together, and so fast, too. No wonder I used to be an industry leader. Listen, I can feel it in my guts. A bright future awaits you. The one and only Tequila Sunset. You're already building great brand equity. No doubt the profits will come rolling in shortly.
This little weasel still isn't owning up to ripping you off.
Of course not. Your trademark will be all over it as soon as the workers can get to it. The strike's holding them up. Not much I can do about that. I guarantee the papers will pick it up once it's all finished. With photos and everything. You'll be the talk of the town. Investing into the community, creating value, giving back.
Papers? Maybe she'll read the papers and see your name. Maybe it will bring her back. A woman is sitting by the kitchen table, eating buttered toast and drinking herbal tea. She opens the South Neighbor Report, a quarterly business magazine. There, in shiny tricolor print, him, triumphant and victorious, like an apparition from the past. Hey, your new personal brand strategist still hasn't laid off the drink, even though he promised. The strike might take forever. Maybe you should just cut your losses while you can.
It isn't that easy, but I'm working on it. I really am. I even signed up for this evening group in Jamrock.
Sire, he's telling the truth.
What would you like them to say?
Here's a man who knows how to play the media, by starting with the right question.
But we haven't solved the murder yet. We might have if you hadn't got distracted by this.
Very nice. You could be your own PR agent, Tequila. Don't spend a single brain cell worrying about it. Just leave it all to me. The final outcome will be spectacular. Just takes a little time. Anything else?
Mr. Dubois, a pleasure as always. Ah yes, I was informed. It seems to be a big undertaking. What are you hoping to achieve with it exactly?
Who told him it was you?
Mr. Dubois, please. It is clearly the work of a great businessman. And I know I didn't order it.
It's business etiquette to take compliments even if they aren't sincere. Like this one. He grins slightly wider than usual, pleased to know that you do follow the rules of business etiquette.
Anyway, I'm glad to see you making headway with your endeavors. I look forward to seeing the end result. Is there anything else on your mind? Mega rich lightbending guy? Oh my god. How did that get in there? Damn it to hell, Harry. I specifically told my guys to check all the containers for mega rich lightbending guys. Honestly, Harry, we might be moving a spot of drugs through this harbour, but I won't be caught transporting the lightbending mega rich. I have a reputation to protect. No, they're not. They're vermin, and one just found a way inside my container. Soon, he'll bring the others. All 3 of them. Thank you for telling me. I'll see to this immediately. I shudder to think what you're going to tell me next, Harry.
Not for 1 second did he believe there's an actual mega-rich person somewhere in his container town. The scaffolding around the old monument has been taken down. In its place are the spoils of your investment. Numerous rods and ropes still hold the original reassemblage in place. An apricot scepter shines party bright across the monument. Glitter balls dangle like severed heads below the eternal king of disco. It is unmistakably a vision of you in your prime. A killer on the performance floor. Icon for all.
Doesn't feel right to party now, does it? Are you at least happy with it?
Putting on a brave face and partying as hard as possible is the best way to get through tough times. Happy isn't the word. You can be satisfied with a job well done, but the current mood doesn't invite any analogues to joy. Not bad, not bad. It's just lacking some objet de destruction. Needs a ciggy or a half-drunk bottle. In fact, so do you.
Detective, I have a few questions, if you don't mind. About this pursuit of wealth, pursuit of recognition.
He nods, eyes still on the megastar above, his face tinged by the citrus beams warming the cold air.
Why did you do it?
A figure in a day dress, cuddled up in an armchair. She looks up and smiles at you across the living room.
Who?
Yes. Who are you talking about? He's talking about pussy. Our guy's going to be swimming in it now that he's loaded.
Never mind. Another question. Was it all worth it? You managed to get quite a fortune, kicked off by underpaying a young artist.
And don't forget about the lying. You had to pay her so little. Otherwise, you wouldn't have made any profit. And if you don't make a profit, you don't have money to invest. The lieutenant speaks as if you're rich. A common misconception, especially if you count the tax. No, we've got a long way to go before we can feel financially comfortable. The hustle never stops.
Ah, yes. Spoken like a true businessman. All right, shall we? We still have some things left to do before we can go home. I don't think we have time for that. And even if we did, I doubt he's around anymore. Everyone's left. Sure, whenever you're ready.
The disco dancer towers above, mounted on a horse. Numerous rods and ropes still hold the original reassemblage in place.
Here he is, the man, the reality, the financial czar. You seen it yet? Great! Great.
He's struggling to cover up his nerves now that he's having one less beer a day.
Well, no rush, but it'd be good to know what you make of it when you get a chance. Yeah. 2 secs.
Ugh.
Right. Let's hear you then. I put a lot of work into that project, Tequila. A lot of work. Had to bring back my hustle game and call in some old partners to pull it off. So come on. Tell me what I want to hear. You love it. Shit, Tequila. That's just made my day. Give me more. Give me more. What do you like most about it?
What more could you want? He got your brand out there while giving back to the community. He hit the brief perfectly. The utter genius of its design, conveyed beautifully through his commitment to a singular aesthetic. He's gone above and beyond. It's an image of you that will stand the test of time. People will remember this for an age. Picking the right praise to give is just as important as picking the right critique. People shape themselves according to any and all feedback they get.
I knew it! That's what you get when you hire me. Customer satisfaction guaranteed. Whoa!
The wooden clack of a bill bouquet comes to a halt before the central structure of a roundabout. Awe whistles through the air as the onlooker takes in every angle. Eager eyes fill nearby windows, brought to the glass by the sound of the toy, but now also taken in the sight of the striking new installation.
Bet you're glad you hired me as your personal brand strategist now. So, what's next, boss? You bet your ass I will. Tequila Sunset is just getting started. No one's ready for the shit we're going to pull. Feels good to be back. Thanks for this, boss. Just what I needed. Is there anything else I can do for you right now?